Are you constantly exhausted no matter how much rest you get?
Have you completely lost your zest for life?
Are you overwhelmed by the smallest inconveniences?
Are you constantly feeling frustrated and irritated with everyone and everything?
Well, these are signs that you're probably burnt out.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about burnout recovery, how to live a soft life, and how to avoid burnout in the future.
If you're new here, my name is Jessy.
And my name is B.
And if you like this video, make sure you like it and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more.
So there's this one thing that truly helped us live such a softer life to help us recover from years and years of burnout. And we're going to get to that in just a minute. But first, we wanted to talk about the societal expectations of living the opposite of a soft life, a really fast-paced life, a really stuck in the rat race hamster wheel life, and how that contrasts so much with actually how our souls, I feel, are calling us to live.
Right. And so what B's describing really resonates with me in an old past life that I experienced. And I remember, especially in the military, it was just go, go, go all the time. And I feel like I never really had time for myself. We were working sometimes 10, 12. I remember working a shift for 36 hours. It was like that all the time. It was very fast paced and just filled with things that didn't necessarily fulfill me in my life. And I was just kind of in survival mode. I was in autopilot, to be honest. I was just going through the motions, living for the weekends, just and I would get to the weekends, and then I feel you're spending most of that weekend preparing for the next week, and then you get the Sunday blues, the Sunday scaries, whatever you refer to it. And I feel 75% of your weekend is you worrying about the week ahead and preparing for it.
I can relate to that as well, because when I was in my full-time therapist position, I was just seeing people, clients, back to back to back to back to back. And I did not really take a lot of time in between sessions for myself. I remember having, you're supposed to have at least 5 to 10 minutes in between sessions. And sometimes if you're a therapist or if you work with people, it's not just so structured and perfectly set up that way. So sometimes someone would take the full hour, and I didn't have 5 to 10 minutes to kind of decompress and center myself. And I was just, okay, other person, let's go back. And it was just, it's a lot when you work with people and the energy of it all. And I remember going home after seeing 8 to 10 people a day, and what I didn't do was go and meditate and center myself. I would turn on the TV, and I feel that even created more burnout, more nervous system frying, because not only am I dealing with the drama of people during the day and all of their problems and taking a lot of that on, I would go home and watch these reality shows, these high cortisol TV shows that would then further disrupt my nervous system, which kept me in a burnout loop and cycle. And if you do that for years and years and years, and your nervous system really isn't getting a full reboot, rewire, reset, you are definitely setting yourself up for burnout.
And that's something that I did as well, because at any given moment, I had a dozen soldiers underneath me, and I was in charge of their well-being and everything that was going on in their lives. And that was a lot to carry home every day. Okay, this one's got this going on, this one has this one has this. And yeah, I would use TV as just a form of escapism and not really, releasing it at the door and letting it go. I would bring that work home with me, and that was a cycle for almost a decade of my life. I also just want to touch on, there's this societal pressure or expectation, and I know that I had it, and it was this weird thing where you feel okay, if I'm not doing something, I'm not being productive. like I'm being lazy. I had this like story in my head. If I'm not constantly doing something, if or like I have to outwork every person here to like show my worth and show like to receive that validation, like, oh, you're such a hard worker, yeah, you can go, and like you don't quit, you don't stop, and like, you're the best worker here. And it's like, at what cost?
I feel like a lot of that definitely comes from our childhood, the
Mm-hmm.
programming that we receive from whoever's taking care of us, whoever we're around, because they had that programming, and then of course
Mm-hmm.
you receive it in society if you didn't receive it from your home life, typically. So we're going to get to that one thing in just a moment that totally helped us recover from burnout. But I just wanted to share this moment in my life, the story where my friend and I remember we were both therapists at the time. She worked, at a clinic. I worked at a private practice. She was telling me how many clients that she had, and she probably had like 100 clients. She was working probably over 40 hours a week. And if you're doing that as a therapist, that's intense work. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying it's any better or worse than working at like, like a 9 to 5 sort of office job. It's just really different work because you're working with people and you don't get like the downtime, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So she was seeing a lot of people, it was a lot of like face to face time. And quite frankly, it was appalling to me because I wasn't working that much at the time. Later down the line, I did, and I totally regret that. However, I noticed myself respond in a way where I felt like, oh, I have to like tell her that I'm working and that but I have like 50 clients, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing this many people and I am just struggling so bad and I worked so late last night, and then I've noticed we were kind of like one-upping each other in a way where like to see who had it worse, who was working
Mm-hmm.
more, who was working longer. And of course, the person that was working more and longer was the one that, is winning in life. And now, like, be looking back at that version of me, like, I'm just thinking, oh my God, I have so much empathy and compassion for you. And also, like, that's not cute, girl. Like, no one
Mm-hmm.
wants to be burnt out. Like, that's not cute
No.
to live your life in that way and then to be one upping with your friend in that way. So I think when we get kind of lost and we're asleep to all of this, we can go back and forth with friends, coworkers, family, even about, oh my gosh, who's working longer, who's working more. Maybe that's to prove your
Mm-hmm.
worth. Maybe that's to show that you, like, I don't know, that you matter. I
Or
think
like
that there's
feed
a
your
lot
ego,
yeah, of course.
to feed the ego. And it's like this glorified thing, in our
Yes.
society, like who's doing the most all of the time. And it's like, that's not cute. Like the grind, the hustle culture, I feel like it's kind of dying out. And it's like the best thing that could happen for our society, in my opinion.
I agree. So let's get to that one
One
thing
thing.
that really helped us recover from everything that we're talking about, something that you could be going through. If you're going through like a burnout phase cycle in your life, let us know in the comments below. Like, we're here for you. You're not alone. It's not going to last forever if you do and take the steps to totally rewire your nervous system, and that takes time. So there are so many things that
Mm-hmm.
you can do for burnout recovery, and we've done quite a bit of work. But the one thing that you can implement in your life today is to slow down.
Slow down. Whether you're in the rat race, whether you aspire to be out of it, whether you're out of it and you're still feeling like residual burnout, this is something that can help you no matter what stage you're at in your life, wherever you're watching this, whenever you're watching this. Slowing down, intentional slowing down, enjoying the little things in life again. Because I just recall I wasn't really enjoying life. I wasn't present. And slowing down makes you present. Slowing down kind of forces you to be present in the moment, and you're not just in this autopilot mode, like just going from one, okay, I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to do this. Like I stopped living my life from a checklist.
And by slowing down, it means like, yes, really having this level of mindfulness and awareness in how you're moving. It can be as simple as, okay, I'm gonna like do my nightly routine. I'm gonna go brush my teeth, wash my face. If you notice the way that you do that a lot, I bet a lot of you are going to notice that you are rushing through it. That it's like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. That's your nervous system kind of being in flight, being in overdrive. You just want to notice even the little things like that. The more you notice your little daily practical things that you don't really think about in terms of slowing down, the more that's going to transform every area of your life over time. I promise you that. Because the more that you slow down in those moments, that sends a signal to your nervous system saying, hey, it's okay, we're safe. The more that you can ground into your body and ground into your reality and be present, the more that your nervous system will change over time. And then that sends a signal to everything else in your environment as well.
Even just going to run errands, sometimes I still catch myself where I'm like, okay, I gotta like get in the car, rush to the next place, get everything that I need to get. And like, I have been more intentional, especially when I'm alone. Because when I have B with me, she's gonna call it out and be like, hey, let's like take a little beat here. But I have been better about noticing like when I'm like going from one thing to the next because it's easy to kind of like slip back down into that autopilot mode. And but like, even if it's just taking a break in the parking lot, like you leave Target, okay, you've got your stuff and you're in the car, and instead of putting that thing in reverse, you're just gonna sit there, you're gonna let the air hit your face, you're gonna take some deep breaths, you're gonna gather your thoughts, you're not gonna mind them on your phone and start scrolling. You're just gonna sit there and you're gonna be present. You're gonna be like, okay, I got this. Now I can put it in reverse. I've slowed down. I can go to my next destination and like not be totally frazzled in a frenzy in an autopilot.
Like we said, there's so many different things that you can do to rewire your nervous system and start living a softer life. This is just the most practical, simple, easy to implement thing that you can start doing today. We're also going to link a breathwork below, a couple of breathworks below that you can access for free that will actually do a full nervous system rewire, and you can do them as many times as you'd like.
So if you like this video, make sure you like it, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more. And as always,
take what you need, leave the rest, and go love yourself.